overrated. Which team are you hearing could win a championship that you just don't see it?
Overrated? Boston.
Wow.
Boston.
Boston easily the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, but you got to show me. I've been in this league, around the league a long time. I've seen a lot of guys that have had great regular season, but they don't win championships.
Yeah, I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big.
How you living, how you feeling, how you doing? It is the big podcast where we always do it.
Big.
Yes, we're back. We're feeling great.
Yes, we are.
You've been practicing that for
I
weeks.
sure have.
It is Lefko. It is I. It is Shaquille O'Neal. It is the big podcast. You were just where in the world?
In Abu Dhabi.
And what is Shaq in Abu Dhabi like? That sounds like a movie unto itself.
It's a perfect place. No crime, no disrespect, just all love there.
Do you spend it in the boats, in the clubs, hookah? Like, what's a perfect Abu Dhabi day?
I shot about 5 commercials and then just watch a lot of movies. And the shisha bars are downstairs. And then they have somewhere you can go to, the mall. You know, it's still, Ramadan then, so people were breaking that fast about 6:30, but the mall stayed open until about 12, 1. It's a peaceful place. It really is. If I was, and like I always say things like this, if I was 10 years younger, I would definitely move over there. It's just like their ocean doesn't move.
It's just a flat ocean.
I think it's called the Red Sea. Doesn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to hear something funny? I almost got
love to hear
arrested.
something funny.
Almost got arrested. So me and my boy, we're on the Sea Dudes. And the guy tell us don't go that way, but you know me, so we're on the Sea Dude.
You're like, I guess we have to go that way.
We're floating. And I could see something over there. And I'm just going and going and going, and we just keep going. All of a sudden, the police are behind us. And
Are they on Sea-Doos also?
No, they're in the big boats. And they're behind. And the brother stopped. He said, brother, you can't go that way. I was like, why? He's like, that's Iran.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so I was like really close. He said, brother, if you go that way, you can get shot. I was like, oh. So I turned the thing back around. But yo, like the water.
What's funny is
so,
you're big enough too that you popped up on like Iranian radar. They're like, there's a huge object coming at us right now.
No, but
It's Shaq on a jet ski.
no, but the water is so flat. I got caught like in a trance. Like, like anywhere else in the ocean you're doing this, but
Yeah,
the
you're
water's
trying to ride the
so
wave.
flat. I was I just got lost. And like you can see it, I was like, like I wasn't looking back at nothing. Then when I did look back, brother, don't go that way. It's Iran. It's Iran. I'm like, Iran? It's like Iran.
I'm not running from you. No. That's the country.
They shoot. So the question is, if I would have pulled up on Iran soil, you think they would have recognized me or shot me? Just think about that.
Let me ask
Actually, don't you answer it. Let the people answer it.
Would Iran have shot Shaq?
If he pulled up on a Sea-Doo, accidentally.
I want to ask you, so wait, when you're in Abu Dhabi, is it kind of like in America where people losing their minds when they saw you?
No, it's all respectful.
Even a handshake?
Well, no, they
They
of course.
gotta look at
fans,
you and be like, what
no,
the hell?
they do, but they don't swarm. They just, they give you the greetings and they say hello, and it's a very peaceful place. And everything is like this, they're really building it up. Like, there's old Abu Dhabi, but this new Abu Dhabi's been around for about 50 years, but new construction, new houses, new mansions, it's just very, very peaceful.
That would be the ultimate sign of fame. If like an Iranian soldier had a gun pointed at you yelling and then went, wait a second,
Yes.
Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes.
That would make my life.
Yeah. So that's
That alley-oop you caught from Kobe.
Yes.
Big Laker fan.
Yes. Game 7, I don't believe. Hey, come here.
It's the big Shaq-this.
Stay, brother. That's what I think would happen.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
Has something like that ever happened before? Where there was almost like you almost really got in trouble, but then the person realized it was you?
Yeah, every time I get stopped.
Police.
With cops.
Yeah.
But one time I'm coming, because I used to, I used to come up from Orlando on Tuesday, work the Tuesday night, work Thursday, then drive back after work. So one day I'm flying, and this is Valdosta, Georgia, flying. That's down south Georgia. I don't have to get into what that means. So the cop comes, and my thing is, I ain't got nothing in the car. Whatever happens, lock me up, whatever, I know I'm gonna get out. So I'm like making up my story. So the
What
guy,
are we in, like a Hellcat or?
yeah, Hellcat. So the guy comes up and I already got my story. So whenever they say, roll your window down, roll my window down, put my hands out, give my thing, he said, why are you going so goddamn fast? I was like, man, I gotta take it. I apologize. I got so bad. What? I said, sir, I have diarrhea. I have to so bad. I apologize. Just follow me to the thing and you can give me a ticket. And he was like, Shaq? I was like, yes, you caught me. But man, I had them goddamn breakfast burrito at Love's. I got
Love's
yeah.
breakfast. That's disgusting. A gas station burrito? You sold it.
Yeah, I said.
See, even the set couldn't handle that.
What is that?
Gas station burrito diarrhea.
So yeah, I told him, I said, sir, I apologize. You caught me. I'm gonna take the ticket. I got it. He's like, go ahead, man, just slow down. I was like, yeah. And I looked in the mirror, I was like, and just kept on going.
Did you stop just to sell it?
No, I didn't.
Man.
I just kept on going.
I want to spotlight something that you're working on right now. You are working on a joint venture with Stephen Curry and Amazon on an Allen Iverson documentary. There has been stories about Iverson done before. I'm curious, we had him on the pod. The reaction to it was so big, but why it was important to tell a story from his perspective and what he really means to the culture.
Because he's never really spoke about things. He's reacted to things. He's never really spoken about things. So we've given him his chance to tell how things came about, what he feels, practice. We're not talking about it just have, from his eyes, from his point of views. And I teamed up with Steph Curry and Steph Curry's company and my company, Jersey Legends. So we're going to be working on many more things like this. I got another one that's really good. I want to announce it, but we're still going back and forth.
How do you decide? Because you've always been someone that can point at something and go, that's a good story. And now you're in a point where you can make movies. Is it hard because there's a lot of good stories out there and you can only pick a few?
I wish everything I do is team-oriented. Like I have a team. We argue, we fight, and, team full of experts. So if I bring something to the table, well, it's four of us, so it has to be unanimous.
Speaking of stories, a few weeks ago we were on set and you said, hey, remind me of that one time Phill Jackson was a little crazy. And I was like, okay.
It wasn't crazy. It was just different. So my favorite Phill Jackson story, Phil was, and I kind of understood where he's coming from because my father was the same way. So Phil says, so Phil had this thing when he go, shh, he wanted you to look up. He wanted you to call a play. So one time we didn't look up. So we get to a timeout. And he looks at Robert Horry and he goes, hey, I'm your master. When I whistle, you look up. Robert Horry said, I'm from Alabama. You ain't my goddamn master. I don't play that.
And you guys were like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, he said that.
So then how did it get resolved? What happened after that?
But it was just he understood.
He was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But Robert Horry said, I'm from Alabama. I don't play that.
And Phil was one of those guys where like he could take it back in a way.
He didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
He meant it like, hey,
I run this shit.
Yeah, I run this shit. When I want to get a play call and I whistle, just look up. So like he just had it. So it was like, shh. Like your parents. Like my dad used to come out. Hey, when I come outside and yell your name, I'm only gonna yell it one time. If I gotta come looking for you. We had two rules. When I come outside and yell your name, you better be somewhere close, and you better be in the house, bath water running, before that last street light come on. Don't just run in the house and the street light come on. So like sometimes I used to come in the house and he used to look at the light to make sure the light go and be like, all right, like one time I missed it, never missed it again. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or vegan or veggie. Factor is your solution for fast premium meals without the need for cooking. And all month long, we're celebrating Earth Day. Look out for the Earth Month Eats badge on the menu of our lowest carbon footprint meals. What are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. Head to factormeals.com/BigFactor50 and use code BigFactor50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next. That's code BigFactor50 at factormeals.com/BigFactor50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% of your next box while your subscription is active.
So our guys, I don't know if they're your guys. Gilbert Arenas and Kenyon Martin work with my guy Josiah Johnson, Gilbert's Arena. They said a Shaq that made free throws would have been more deadly than a 6'6" Allen Iverson. So if you gave 6 inches to Allen Iverson versus Shaq with the ability to go 85% from the free throw line, they're taking you.
You know what? Let me tell you about Kenyon and Gilbert. They're absolutely right.
I didn't know what to expect there.
And Kenyon made a good point about how I shot free throw. I don't know why I shot like that. Like I had to like the ball, like, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way. I hated the dark skin ball.
What did he say?
Just don't worry about how it sounds, but the light skin ball, it just felt. It just felt. Don't just forget it.
I'm just trying to picture the balls.
Yes.
No Diddy.
They got black balls and they got yellow balls.
Well, there's like the fresh out the box.
And that's the one I like because the grip was just so nice. So, like, I always had to feel it on my finger. Like, you look at people and how you're supposed to shoot is on the palm, but I always had to have it on my fingertips.
Because when you shot normally,
yeah,
I felt like it came off a different part of your hand than it did in the free throw.
Yeah, but when I got to the free throw, I just had to touch it. So that the point Kenny was making about that, they were right. But yeah, if I shot, let me tell you something. That's just God's way of keeping me humble. Imagine my game and being able to shoot like Steph Curry. Come on, bro.
Same reason he gave you a small.
It's not that small. It works. It was just cold that day.
Shaq naked.
They shut the club down. Everyone's like, I guess I'm taking my ball and going home.
You could always blame it on the cold, Bert. You could always blame it on the cold.
I was one time I got naked. My was so small that people audibly were laughing, and I was like, I don't want this. Isn't a good look.
Shout out to Bert Kreischer. That was still one of the funniest days that we've had here. That was unbelievable. I want to get into a different topic completely. Rap beefs. So we have ourselves a Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake. Kendrick comes out and says, F the big three, it's just big me. Number one, do you believe it? Is this a real thing?
It was said. I like competition.
I know, that's why I'm asking. I feel like this is, I like when the people at the top of the game battle with each other.
I love it, because we all have egos. We all say we're the best, and the fans want you to prove it. I just hope it don't go into all that other stuff.
What's the other stuff?
My crew see your crew and we start fighting and shooting and all that. Like, I'd rather just add them on like your sweater or Shaq. Like, just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Like WWE. The day that broke my heart, I had an event in my house in Orlando. Hulk Hogan walks in and Andre the Giant walks in. And I'm like, hold on, this wasn't real?
Yeah.
It broke my heart. So if they can keep it like that, because listen, I'm a fan. I'm not gonna, and like I see all the stay on the side you're on. I'm neutral. I just like great music. I got 50 cars. I like different music.
Yeah.
So
there's an artistry to battling.
But when it comes, like, I'm the best basketball player ever, and I get upset that my name's not mentioned in the GOAT. But here, I'm the baddest ever, and that's how you're supposed to think, and that's what makes you great. And then you got another guy saying, "No, I'm the best." So then you got the people saying, "Okay, well, prove it. Show me who's the best." But that was a statement. Forget the big three. It's just big me. Bam! Like he hit it with that bam. I was like, ooh. So
and the beat dropped down.
And then he said something about the things you do as a light pack Prince outlived Mike Jack. Ooh, subliminals.
Big time.
See, you know what I want you to do? I want you to get 10 lines and I want to try to decode them because I think I'm a rap decoder expert.
Really?
Yes, I do. So I want you to get 10 lines from any genre, any
We
era.
could do a sponsorship with
Yes.
that rap.
But I like it.
So you said different music in different cars at different times. So when is Drake? What car and what emotion? are you
Phantom
feeling?
and the Maybach.
Phantom in the Maybach. We're
Yes.
listening to Drake.
Because what I like about Drake, spits. He just spit. It ain't no, he just straight bars and straight music is really good. And Kendrick is the same
When
way.
do you listen to Kendrick? Which car? What emotion?
West Coast car. Hellcat, Phantom, convertibles, Impala.
And what would be your energy when listening to Kendrick compared to Drake?
Wouldn't be my energy about the same. I mean, because both of them just spit.
Yeah.
And then like when I'm listening to Future and those guys, I'm in my Atlanta Hellcat with the crazy doors, big tires, and just want to bite that bottom lip and just want to go.
Is there a J. Cole car?
J. Cole
Or
car.
do you not listen to J. Cole like that?
I love J. Cole.
Okay.
I love J. Cole. So but J. Cole's any car.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, J. Cole's any car. I like them all. And then again, like
You're not going to rank them?
no, it's not about ranking. It's just about I respect pecking order and G14 classification. Yeah, I'm a spit and I do that. I don't have enough G14 classification to talk about those MCs. I don't. So I'm not going to sit here and do
If
like
you could
everybody.
only listen, and I'm going
That's
to
one thing I hate, especially in our business.
people that are unqualified.
Yeah,
Qualified.
like if you're not a great player,
Yeah.
you can't talk about a great player.
All right, then
Keep it
let's
in
do
your
this.
fucking lane.
I'm throwing Future in there too.
Yeah.
Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Future. You can only listen to one the rest of your life.
That's never going to happen.
It's a hypothetical question.
Never going to happen. Yeah, but it's a hypothetical question that Shane's going to cut up and then we're going to no, hell no.
Shaq picks Drake for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You trying to get on these internet streets, or you're trying to just be kind to people? When do you listen to Diddy?
When I'm with
All right,
strike that from the tape.
keep that on the tape. But now, the general surprise break. If something surprising happens in your life, the general will be there to take care of you. You gave a surprise break to two former LSU teammates, giving them brand new trucks. Number one, tell me about these guys. And
How
number
you know about that?
I'm all on the internet, brother. And when you do good things, people send it to me. But that was awesome. So two former teammates. Why'd you give them a truck?
It wasn't planned. So I go to LSU every year. Just go to a football game. And there's a place, take you back. In Superman 2 or 3, when Superman had to go back to the place with the crystal to get his powers back.
Krypton?
Yes. There's a bench at LSU. I always just sit. Because I used to sit there and everything that's happening now, I used to just sit there, especially when the people used to doubt me.
And you'd visualize
And
success.
I'm like, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. So I have to go back there and regain my powers back. So I'll go sit, park my truck in front, listen to a few songs, sit, thank my father, thank my sister, thank God, and then I'm out. So I had a show there one day. And like they always come to support and hang out. And they pulled up in some raggedy trucks, bro. Stanley Roberts, former NBA player, and Wayne Sims, rest in peace. And I saw them, and I remember it. When I didn't have anything, they used to let me borrow their trucks. Of course, I was a rookie, and in order to buy that truck, be like, hey, go to the thing, get us some 40 ounce. Like I would have to do that, but they let me borrow their cars anytime I need them. Hey, man, I'm about to go see. Oh yeah, go ahead. Hey man, don't wreck my. Like they let me borrow their car. So I had a few days. So I called them and I told them meet me at the Ford dealership, and I told them pick one, and both of them started crying. I said, hey man, I ain't with all that. Just pick a truck because I got a flight to catch. I ain't got time for that. But like, it was just.
This is making me so emotional.
Yeah, it was
I appreciate it. Yo, enough of this, bro. Pick up.
They crying. I'm like, oh, y'all used to be the hardest dudes I know. Don't start all that. They want to grab me.
Give me a hug. Nah, man. Drive.
So anyway, I was buying them the truck. They're trying to hug me. I'm like, but then tragically after that, a couple months after that, Big Daddy Wayne Sims passed away. I got the call that he passed away, but Stanley's still here. But it was just me telling the guys thank you, because they were way ahead of me in college. Like when I first got to LSU, and it was sort of a shock to me because I was number 1 on my little Army base, and when I went to college, I went back to number 10. Like Chris Jackson was the man, and then Stanley, and then Maurice, and then Vernell, and then Big Daddy. So I wasn't even an option. I had to like come off the benchmark here, but they welcomed me in, they took care of me, and when I started to rise, they supported me and never turned their back on me. So that was just me. And like I do things like that all the time. Like the people that have been there for me, I always, take care of them. This episode of The Big Podcast with Shaq is brought to you by The Journal. You know Shaq loves The Journal. Before the league, before the rings, before I got my big break, I've been rocking with The Journal. The Journal has been offering quality coverage for 60 years. And you already know The Journal was there for Shaq when I needed him. Low rates and flexible payment options to keep you covered. If you're ready for your big break, you know what to do. Visit thejournal.com and get a quote today. Again, visit thejournal.com and get a quote today. And it wouldn't be The Big Podcast without The Journal.
I talked about Stanley Roberts this weekend, actually. So you and me were all over college basketball this weekend. You had every Home Depot commercial, every channel. There's Shaq walking around doing all Home Depot. I'm hosting NCAA the entire time, and I was with Jay Wright. And I was like, could you imagine what it would have been like to face Shaq in college? He said, I was an assistant coach for Villanova under Raleigh Massimino. We lost to Shaquille O'Neal. It was the only time Raleigh Massimino lost in the first round his entire career.
I remember
he
that
said,
game.
that team, Chris Jackson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Stanley Roberts.
Yeah,
Stanley Roberts, man, he was an NBA player. He was different.
He was different.
Yeah. Do you remember Raleigh Massimino?
Yeah, I remember Raleigh Massimino. And I give all the credit in the world to Stan. Stan used to kill me every day. First time I've ever got killed like that. He used to get killed every day.
When a new Shaq commercial drops,
I never watch it.
does the phone blow up though?
No.
So we've gotten past that point now.
Yeah, but I never really
So
watch.
you go on set, you do a commercial.
and then I'm on to the next.
What about the commercial where you did like the shimmy shake that's been turned into like 1 million memes?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Take a look.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I actually do that in a lot of my commercials, and actually a lot of people request it.
Oh, they want you to do the shimmy?
Yeah,
And you're like, no.
yeah. I'm like, no.
Can you tell the story of the Kendrick Lamar soap commercial?
So we were shooting the commercials, and a lot of time I let the directors do what they want, but a lot of times they don't know me or know us, so I have to shacken it up. So they wanted us to do something, and I was like, no, Kendrick, I'm going to stand over here and you just shoot it. And that was the first take. He shot it, and it bounced off my head, and it still went. That's why I was like, oh, my God, they still went. That right there was all freestyle. And the guy was like, do it again. I'm like, no, we're not doing it again. You're going to use that one. So, like, I've always
so genuine. Like you're both so happy.
I've always tried to see the ending of the commercial first before I shoot it. Like, I'll let you write it up, but then I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, how do I want to see it? And then, all right, I'm going to say this and I'm going to do this. Like, a lot of times they'll come in and be like, no, I'm like, I'm not doing that. And like, you have to be polite. Hey, Shaq, I want you. No, I'm not doing that. Don't. It's okay. And then like, when I start to get annoyed, I just have to politely say, you just shut up and record and take the credit later. Because, again, I know how I want to be seen. I know how I want my mother looking at me.
Right.
I'm not going to be doing stuff,
I've experienced that with you on TNT. When an idea gets pitched and you're like, no, I'm not dressing up like a woman right now.
Exactly. Well, I don't do that anyway. Hold on. I did it for
You
comedy.
did it one time.
Comedy. No. For
Take a
comedy.
look.
No.
Take a look.
That was Halloween. Don't count on Halloween. So they don't count on Halloween. Get that, bro. It don't count on Halloween.
Kenny,
Get
your thoughts?
Bro, you can dress up on Halloween. Stop it. Yes, you can. Yes. You can dress up on Halloween. Stop it.
What were we talking about?
Did you laugh? You laughed when you saw it. Then my job is done.
Yes.
My job is done.
No, that's right. We were talking about commercials, and I actually have a friend who told me that they have a group chat that tracks all of the different brands that you. I'm not even kidding. Shout out to my guy Danny. That they have a portfolio. They call it a Shaq ETF, and they only invest in companies as soon as you do a commercial with them. So like they're like, oh, he's on Home Depot. We're adding. They bought Home Depot stuff.
Don't do that right now.
Oh, you're hearing something?
No, I'm just saying. Ain't that IT?
Excuse me?
Ain't that IT?
Insider trading?
Yeah.
No.
You sure?
Insider trading is like if you were like, hey, Home Depot is about to shut down like 40 stores, and you're like, you should sell stock.
Yeah, because I don't want.
That's insider trading.
I have a question.
Okay.
You know, I'm not into.
So this is something just for everyone out there. It's something that Shaq happens all the time, where it's either usually about crypto, where Shaq's like, what's going on here? So this is Shaq's new segment called What's Going On Here?
Yes, what's going on here?
Okay.
The Toronto thing and the betting.
You came to the right
All
place.
right, hold on. The other guy that's making $700 million.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about him second. But
Some quick breakdowns.
okay, but the guy in Toronto.
Jonte Porter,
Yes,
the younger brother of Michael Porter Jr.,
got it.
being investigated right now for questionable moments that may impacted betting. There were 2 games in particular. Woj has reported this. This is all being reported, in which he went in and he was supposed to have like 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, played for a minute or two. The first time came out with an eye injury.
A real eye injury?
He said it was an eye injury. Did not play the rest of the game. Second game, played for a few minutes. Let me finish. Then comes out with an undisclosed illness, doesn't finish the game. The way sports betting works, as soon as you check into the game, it's an official game. When you come out of the game, because he didn't get 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, all of those unders hit because he came out.
What?
The reason that they were alerted to this was on those 2 days, whatever sportsbook took in hundreds of thousands of dollars in bets on his unders, they ended up being the most profitable bet of the day. And why a Jonte Porter under is your number one bet when people are betting on Luka and Jokic and Stephen Curry, it alerted them to what the heck is going on here. And so now he is being investigated to see if there's any involvement in how this could have happened. Because it's not just that he did it, who was he telling that he was going to do it so that they could bet a large amount of money on it? That's where the web starts being exposed.
So could it be?
That is what's going on here.
So could it be coincidental?
I don't know. As someone that bets, like, I've never even thought about betting on Jonte Porter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say it could be coincidental, but it's really shady.
Okay, so Shane and Kenny could bet Shaq's going to do the whole show tonight. But then I could tell Slice, you know, when I run to the board tonight, I'm going to run to the board and twist my knee and have to sit out.
Right.
And Slice a bet on that and win, and I'll be in trouble.
Yeah, because remember the question you asked before? That is literally the definition of insider trading.
Got it. Okay.
So first question, when you hear this, how does that make you feel as a competitor, as an athlete?
It doesn't. I don't. First of all, I never even heard of the guy.
He's making he's Michael Porter Jr.'s younger brother. He's on a league minimum like $450,000 a year.
Plus the 200 he just got, so that's 600,000.
Oh, you're including the betting winnings?
Yeah.
But has there ever been a point where you've played with the others where you're like, man, they actually really need money, and like if someone were to come along and offer something like this, you could see it?
No.
Because it seems like it's getting into the fabric of sports right now, and I really do get concerned about cheating and stuff like that.
True story. We're somewhere, and we're sitting at a bar, and the guy comes, and the guy's polite. He says, Shaq, you probably don't want to sit here. I say, why? He says, I'm one of the biggest bookies in the world, and people know me, and I don't want you next. I said, oh, cool, but you ain't got to worry about me. So we start talking, and we said, hey, you get players? He said, nah, you guys make too much money. I get referees. That's what he says. And then a couple of years after that, the whole thing broke.
Tim Donaghy and the refs game.
He said that.
I have talked with coaches that have told me that they thought a ref was reffing a game weird, and then they went after the game and looked at the spread and realized, like, oh, wow, like a few of those loose ball fouls, the ones where it's like you and another guy running and you both collide at the same time, and who they call the foul on, that kind of stuff.
Whenever I felt like the game wasn't being called right, I always used to go to the ref and be like, the spread is 6. All the time. The spread is 6.
Was that the actual spread or did you just make it up?
No, I just always tell them, like, I know exactly what you're doing. The spread is 6. And then I always just tell them, I said, don't matter to me. I'm making $40 million this year. Do it. You got to do it again. Like, if you want the people that pay to watch you say it, don't really matter to me.
Doesn't that make you sad? Did it make you annoyed as a player?
It does. Because my thing is, they say we're going to hack a Shaq in the paper. Oh, we're just going to file him. Okay, now when they file me, just call it. I'd rather embarrass myself by not making free throws than let you
just hit me.
Yeah, let me hit me. It's okay, you're going to hit me, so as soon as I do this move, now I'm on the bench. Now I got to come in and play cautious and really try to, a team that we're supposed to be beating by 30, you want to make it close. And it's just, but I always just tell them, the spread is 6 all the time.
If you were a teammate of a guy and this story came out, how would you feel about your teammate if it ended up being true?
I'd have to punch him in his face and be like, first of all,
so
why?
We're going to go right past having a conversation.
Oh yeah, it ain't gonna be no conversation. One, why? You just messed up your money. You messed up your family's money, and now you got them people looking at us.
Because you're right. Then they're going to look at the rest of the team and be like, who else?
Yeah. And then you might get one dummy and be like, Shaq hit 10 out of 12 the first night. Why the second night he go 2 out of 30?
And here's a picture of him and this player hanging out.
Yeah, all that's like.
So if you were Commissioner Shaq, what's the punishment?
For this guy, he would have to give his whole salary back. And you got 30 days.
30 games?
No. So let's just say
you have 30 days to pay it.
So you got 30 days to pay that $450 that you're making.
Is he allowed to play ever again?
Hold on. You got $450 to pay the league back. Plus whatever the person made, $250. You got to pay me $650. You got 30. You don't get that done, you're banned from all leagues. NBA, Europe, you can't ever play again.
Banned from basketball.
All leagues. You can't even go to elite overtime. Done.
Shout out to Overtime Elite.
Overtime Elite.
So the story of the Japanese pitcher,
yes,
Shohei Ohtani, a.k.a. the modern-day Babe Ruth, is he has a translator. And the translator apparently owed a bookie an illegal, because you can't bet legally in California, $4.5 million. Yes. Originally, the story came out that he was down this amount of money, and then Shohei Ohtani paid off the tab for him. Like, I'll take care of it. Then they changed their story, and then suddenly the interpreter was stealing money from Shohei Ohtani, from his accounts. Because you have to think about it. You have a Japanese man in America, the interpreter dealing with the banks, all of that stuff. There's so many questions. There are so many theories as to, like, what if the player himself was the one making the bets and this guy's taking the fall? These are all like theories. Yeah.
You get $700 million contract and you're still betting?
That's the thing is, right now the story is the interpreter is the one that has the gambling problem. The interpreter is the one, and that they're saying that the player didn't know anything about it. The interpreter saying, I never bet on baseball. But this is where we are with sports betting. And it's getting murkier and murkier.
So is his contract about to be?
The MLB is investigating.
So what if they found out he was betting on game? He's done?
Think about Pete Rose. Pete Rose has been banned from baseball for betting on sports. So that was your only experience in your life with someone even mentioning betting around you?
Yeah.
Okay. Feel like we've covered the topic well enough?
I guess. I just,
Are there more questions?
No. So the Toronto dude may be in trouble.
Oh, I would say he seems to be really in trouble.
So does it seem like he's involved?
I mean,
just
allegedly, yes. No, it seems like he pulled himself out of the game for a mysterious eye illness and a mysterious illness.
So there's coincidence and there's involved. Give me your 70-30.
This is just like Adam making a guess.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he did this. I would say 85% involved.
And 15% coincidence.
Because I've never thought about how you could throw it. Because I'm like, you're going to look crazy if you're missing shots on purpose.
Right.
Or like if the ball comes down and you don't pick up the rebound. You know what I mean? Or like, But taking yourself out because you're sick, I was like, that's genius. Like that makes sense. Like that way, like you hit all the unders, but you don't look crazy. In fact, everyone's like, you good? Like everyone's checking on you.
Right.
So that one was it hit me, but I would never do that.
Me either.
We reached out on social media, and because I get to talk to Shaq all the time, a lot of my questions get answered, but not all the fans' questions get answered. So this one is from Jim Meisner. Do you think it would be easier for an NBA player to transition to the NFL or an NFL player to transition to the NBA?
Certain players, like, I was all-state tight end
Yes.
in my mind.
Were you all county at least?
No, but I started out as a football player. So you just have to be a certain player. So Terrell Owens was a hell of a basketball player.
He was.
Terrell Owens was a hell of a basketball player. This kid, I just seen him. Forget his name.
DK Metcalf.
I saw him play in the every game. He's a good player. So I would say yes. And I think LeBron could definitely transfer over. I could have if I wanted to. So, like, I don't want to say all.
Iverson would have been a hell of a DB.
Iverson, yeah. White Chocolate was the quarterback from Randy Moss. So
Could you imagine
yeah.
the throws he's making?
So, some
Better
people,
athlete. The best athlete in the NFL or the best athlete in the NBA?
I don't know. I would have to. I'd have to.
Like DK Metcalf, who you just said,
Hell of an athlete.
and then I don't even know who he'd say in the NBA. Anthony Edwards,
We should have a show then.
better athlete, NFL versus NBA.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question.
And I'll let you be executive producer.
Okay, 15%.
12,
12, 13 and a half.
13.
What?
13.
I just lost a half a percentage. At Showtime Shash, pick one guy to team up with right now to make a duo. So if you were in your prime, we know that you've seen Penny,
T-Mac.
Kobe. No. That is currently playing.
Okay.
Penny, Kobe, Wade, LeBron. Like you've seen all this. Who would you want to pair up with?
Anthony Edwards,
That's the guy.
because he's a dog. And when I get tired of posting you up and busting you, I do have some guard skills. I'll step out. I'll bring Victor Wembanyama out with his long self pause, and then I'll just dump it down to Anthony Edwards all the time.
Let him go to work.
Yeah, and then now when Victor turns his head, now I get to be a role player, cut to the basket, and get momentum going to the rim for the dunk. So
Because there's always this generational divide between eras. And the older eras never think the younger eras are tough enough. And the younger eras
not.
never think that the older eras are talented enough.
We're
and I
not.
think you're the hardest judge of toughness. But I feel like Anthony Edwards checks those boxes. And I'm curious, is it the way he's doing it? Is it how he's talking? What is it about Anthony Edwards that every generation loves him?
the way he plays the right way. He plays hard and he plays with that tenacity. The reason why we don't think the younger generation can handle it is because you touch them and they all the time, and then they complain when they don't get that call. When the older generation had to really fight. Coming to the worst team I hated playing against was the Knicks. You got Charles Oakley, you got Ewan, you got Bonner, and they were really trying to f you up. Like, really. And then the Pistons were the same way. Like, you had to take that. Like, now it's these, and then the flagrant twos and you throwing people out of the game. That's why we think you're soft. And the fact that they say we don't have enough talent, I would say that, but you have to define to me what talent is. Just because you can do all that don't mean you're talented. That's not talent to me. Talent is running, jumping, and how you play. Like
Have you seen the I'm done with the 90s memes?
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think of it?
Those are people who can't play, so they're definitely not qualified.
It's crazy. We could take clips. Like we could
time.
take bad Shaq clips and put together and try and make you look crazy.
There's no such thing as bad Shaq clips.
Possibly true.
No such thing. Matter of fact, the fan that puts together
I'm done with the 90s.
best. No, the fan that can put the best bad Shaq clip together, we will fly you out, and you can be on the podcast with us.
And then I would like to take, if you could take the 4 times on this show where he went, ugh, and like mix that in with the bad clips.
Yeah.
Whoever puts together the bad highlight reel, the low light reel of Shaq with. All right, so now we got to do your favorite segment, which is Who You With, which is picking NBA stuff.
Got it.
We have now Sleeper, your dark horse pick to go further than most people think this
Golden
year.
State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors, I don't even think they're currently in the playoff picture.
They're not?
They'd have to get into the playoff game. Well, they're in the play-in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Remember, you could be eliminated from the play-in,
Yeah, but they're not.
but you wouldn't bet against them.
They're going to beat the Lakers if they play against the Lakers in the play,
And then if they do that, they'd probably play either the Thunder or the Timberwolves.
and they can beat them.
It's hard to bet against Stephen Curry. We saw what he did in the playoffs last year.
But it's not him, Klay Thompson.
He's going to come back.
And then for a guy like that, all I need is 2 games. Because everybody going to do what they do, but if you get Klay to give me 2 games, and then, what I know and respect about Klay, he ain't no punk. So, dogs, when you have them in a corner, they'll give you the but when they get tired, then they bite. So right now, everybody's killing him. Oh, you're coming off the bench. You lost it. He's still playing. All it takes is like one of those games where his elbow is tucked in and he's feeling it and everybody's counting him out. So Golden
How much
State.
can their experience overcome how talented these younger teams are that have never been there before?
Experience and consistency of great play. Like if you're experienced and playing like it don't matter, but you're if experienced, when the eye and when not the eye, and you're playing great. And that's why I'm saying Klay Thompson is the fact that everybody's not really counting on. We know what Steph's going to do, but if I can get Klay for 2 or 3 games, because remember, this dude had 60 points with 11 dribbles. 60 points with 11 dribbles, and it's still there. It's just when you're older and then, a lot of people don't understand this. Winning is boring.
Oh, that's interesting.
Winning is boring. It really is. So, when you don't have the championships, you fight for it. Then when you get that first one, well, that was luck. Then you get the second one. Bet you can't do it again. Then you get the third one. Then you get traded. Then you get the fourth one. Like, when is it enough? When is it enough? Oh, get 5, get 6. Oh, Michael got it's just at some point, and then you play. Everybody else gets it done in May. You're playing in May and June and July, and you only get 30 days for summer, and you don't get a chance to spend with your family. It really gets boring.
So losing can actually be more enjoyable because you get done the season, you get to hang out with friends. And family.
I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. Winning multiple times is boring. Past 2. Like when you win the first one, win 2 is cool, but when you get to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
The newness is gone.
Yes, newness is gone. And then when you get older and people starting to doubt you and, mentally you think you can do the same things you can do with your 20, it's just very tiring. So right now, Klay is mentally tired. But all it takes is 1 game for a guy like him. So that's why Golden State is my sleeper team.
Opposite, overrated. Which team are you hearing could win a championship that you just don't see it? Would you like to see the standings?
Overrated, Boston.
Wow. Boston, currently.
I was going to say Clippers, but Ty Lue's my boy. I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting. They can win, but Boston.
Boston easily the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, but
time of recording, 11 games up on second place.
Yeah, but you got to show me. I've been in this around the league a long time. I've seen a lot of guys that have had great regular season, but they don't win championships. That used to be my fight with all these coaches that come in with the numbers. Oh, I'm like, well, where have they been at? Like when I first got to Miami, our defensive rating, all this and that. Well, I've been in the finals 5 the last 6 years, and I ain't never seen you. So obviously that don't mean nothing to me. Oh, your body fat. I said, yeah, he looks good, but I've been there the last 5 out of 6 years. So
we've seen
my method works.
Giannis didn't make it, and then he did, and he won it. Jokic didn't make it, and then he did, and he won it. So we have had 2 teams. Toronto Raptors were like that with Kawhi, where it was, they're a regular season team. What do you think happens to take a regular season team like that or a player like Giannis and Jokic and then suddenly make the leap to championship?
Consistency and dominant consistency. Like I talk about this every year. You're with me. So my only fear for SGA, got to do more. Like
even though you're averaging 31, 6, 6, and 2,
you got to take
that up to 37.
You got to take it to 37 every game. which is not easy to do. So like right now, SGA is dominating, but if they bring that 31 down to 22, wherever they're playing against, they have a chance. And that's my only fear for him.
So you really need your stars to take it to another level.
Yes, you got to go to another level.
And it's maybe one that they might even look at you and go, "Look, I'm an MVP candidate, isn't this?"
Yeah, but you have to go to another level, and then you need your ultimate. You need optional others to have out of worldly games. Like if I'm like, because I'm guaranteeing you once the playoffs start, they're going to double SGA. So when he kick it to D-Dub gonna have to bring it. J-Dub, he gonna have to bring that up. When they kick it to the other guy, get it. Yes.
Dort has
Shaq, yeah. So they're definitely gonna have to have like out of world again. And then it should be easier for them. Like I used to get mad at my guys sometimes, but I understood because there's a lot of pressure. But bro, you wide open in the corner. Just give me one. Give me one. Like I'm gonna do what I do because I need to get 7. So the first 3 times I'm touching the ball, don't even look for it. But after I get 7 and 8 and he's done, when I kick it to you, just give me one. Especially in the full court, just give me one. But like if I'm kicking it to like big shot ball is my favorite. If I kick to him and he's going, now I'm setting Vlade up. And then Vlade comes.
And it's 1-on-1.
And then he just killing him. So that's what I mean by the others have to have an outer worldly game.
Superstar status. We had this conversation. I kind of want to bring some new names. Who could be a player that elevates in the playoffs, and then by the time we start talking about next year, he's being mentioned?
That's how ants communicate. You can't even hear it.
I would say Anthony Edwards does feel like the answer to this question.
Yes, all day, every day.
What do you think? Candace has been saying this on set all the time. His mannerisms, his body, the way he jumps, there is that feeling of MJ in terms of aesthetically the way he looks. Jamal always gets upset on set because he doesn't want anyone to compare anybody to MJ.
Forget MJ. You need to be Ann Edwards. And I'm not telling him how to think, but when I was coming in, especially a guy they used to they always told wasn't good enough. By the time they start comparing names, I was like, fuck everybody. You're going to know my name. So no disrespect to Kareem and Wilt and Bill, but I don't want to hear their names.
That's part of the reason I love Ant, is he seems to have that mindset of I'm here to destroy everybody.
And that's my advice to him. Don't focus on being the next Mike. Be who you are. And that's why I like him, because I like him because he knows. Like a lot of guys don't know how good they are, and they're very timid, but he knows, hey, I'm good, I'm him. Like, that's what the kids say these days, I'm him, he's him.
I'm excited to watch him play. All right, you ready for some fan advice?
That's how ants communicate.
I thought you were doing like the way a hamster drinks water.
Nope.
Can you imagine if you did that and like millions of ants flooded the studio?
You ever watch that Tom and Jerry cartoon when the ants go ding 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 ding?
We're a podcast for ads and ants.
Did we just become best friends, Shane?
Dr. O'Neill fan advice. If you'd like to send in, ask droneil@gmail.com. You could also put it in the YouTube comments of this episode. This is for entertainment purposes only. Concerned in LA writes, Dr. O'Neill, my parents, so the grandparents, are spoiling my 2 boys. I've asked my mom and dad to please let me know when my kids ask them for things and don't just buy stuff that they may not need or deserve. I'm a single mom, and I want my boys to start earning what they get because they're 11 and 13 and life is not that easy. But my parents won't honor my request and my kids are getting lazier. What's the best way to handle this? Dr. O'Neill.
Not a grandparent yet, but I'm probably going to do the same thing.
You spoil.
Yes. My grandmother didn't have a lot, but she spoiled me also. So I say accept it, because when that day comes when the grandparents are not here, you're going to wish they were here. And you're the mom, so you can still be able to control the situation. Like when I went to my grandparents' house, my mother let me do stuff I can't do at the house. Like, can I have some of that cake? Can I go outside extra longer? So I just think you just need to enjoy the family aspect of it. Because remember, one of my mottos is it could be worse. So think if your grandparents weren't there to help you, then would you be feeling this way? So I'd say ease up. But when you bring them home, just explain to the kids and just control them.
It
And
is
my
interesting.
grandmother didn't have a lot, but she did everything I asked for. Grandma can have some extra money to go to the store. She go in her little change drawer, get to all the pennies. I go down to the corner store, buy some gum. You know, it wasn't a lot.
This man says, I don't like when you say that I'm old, but I'm going to tell a story about getting pennies and going to the grocery store.
Yeah, 78, 79. Yeah, I remember those stores. But
So you gave me the advice before as the dad, when I go back home, don't be the disciplinarian.
don't.
But so that's what I think she's dealing with right now, where she's like, I'm getting painted as the disciplinarian all the time because the grandparents come by and gifts and all that stuff, and now I'm the bad guy. So how does she overcome being the bad guy?
Just think of it as Christmas. For some people, Christmas only comes one day, but you got the grandparents coming by. Just let your babies enjoy Christmas.
I wish I was with my grandparents right now.
Yeah, because if they're doing something, you're fighting it all the time. But I'm saying, like, when you have the kids with you, most of the time you have to control it. Like, you know, like I remember one time my mama said, "We're going to your grandma's house. Don't ask for." And I just have to sit there. Then grandma come out with that goddamn cake with that frosting. You'd be like, "You want some cake, baby?" And you'd be like. And then your mom be like, "All right, go ahead." But you listen to your mom, but then, you know, grandpa and them overrule mom and dad. So I just think it's something you.
What was grandmom's name?
Odessa Chambliss.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a nurse, and
Angel? Just like an absolute angel.
Yeah, and so I would tell mom to just ease up a little bit and just enjoy the process. But when you have the kids at home, just explain it to them.
So your grandma was like your favorite person in the world.
Yeah.
Mine was too.
Yeah.
Grandma Barb's. Damn. That's why we're so alike.
We are.
Always a blast.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to all the commenters. Shout out to all the listeners. We love you guys. This has been the big podcast. Want to give them a final thought?
Yep. Yeah. I heard something the other day, and I'm not going to elaborate on it, but I think if you get to a place in your life where you can take care of your people, you should. I'm not going to elaborate with it. People who will understand this message, they'll know what I'm talking about. And you could do it at your own pace, at your own ability. But for me, I take care of everybody. Not because I want to, but because I should. I make a lot of money. You think I'm going to have my people sitting out there? The answer is no. So me, at my own pace, I take care of my people. So all the guys that's out there, and, you know, instead of fighting with the people who help you get to where you are, just take care of them. That's my final thought.
Message.
Yeah.
You caught me. But man, I had them goddamn breakfast burrito at Love's.
Gas station burrito diarrhea.